I am a huge believer of YUNZII's keyboards, and one of the biggest factors is their price. They never charge an arm and a leg for their keyboards, and if you look into the tiny details of their keyboard specs and market price, you get more than what you pay for. With that said, YUNZII sent me their AL71 per my request. I wanted it, and yes, I wanted this custom keyboard so bad. This is a Trimode keyboard with Bluetooth, 2.4 GHz dongle, and wired connectivity. Boasting up to 4,600 mAh battery, this is where YUNZII is so hard to beat. Their batteries are always on the higher end of the spectrum. It's a gasket-structured keyboard with all CNC machined aluminum case held down by 6 hex screws underneath. The unit I got has AL71 silent switches that has 40 grams of operating force, so they're on the lighter side versus regular red linear switches. Out of its box, you get its manual, extra Mac keycaps, extra switches, keycap switch puller, cable, and of course the keyboard itself, plus a PET dust cover. Yes sir! Weighing at 1.2 kilograms, this is so close to reaching this tank of a full-sized keyboard. The case is fully dampened, so the only other mods to do here is to remove some of them depending on your taste, of course. As for aesthetics, well, I have nothing else to say other than this being my current favorite keyboard in my arsenal. The CNC aluminum is matte black with almost no shine to it. They offer the AL71 with multiple color options, so this is the keyboard that would cater to a lot of user preferences and PC builds. Plus, that side RGB is lit. In a metaphorical sense, of course. By pressing function and right control, you may change the lighting modes of the side panels. Now, as I mentioned, you only need to remove 6 screws underneath and jiggle the top case a bit to open this up. This is so satisfying. Having the perk of not needing to pry anything off and potentially breaking something in the process is such a relief. Now, for its PCB, it's got flex cuts, and so does the PC plate as well. This has got universal hot swap TTC sockets that fit both 3 pins or 5 pin switches, and features a south-facing LED, which is the standard to custom keyboards nowadays. Under the keyboard, you get a PET sound pad. Then on top of that, a Poron socket foam under the PCB. Sandwiched in between the polycarbonate plate and PCB are 3 layers, one being the PET insulation film, IXP switch pad, and a Poron plate foam. You basically get 4 layers of dampening material if you exclude the insulation film. So if you'd ask what I do to modify its sound profile, well, as I said, you may remove the foams underneath, tape mod this keyboard, and opt for more poppy switches. It would add a low hollow sound to the board, as some of you might like. Here's a quick acoustic test for y'all. Stock sound is totally muted with a creamy feel thanks to its light mute switches. Keycaps are double shot PBT in cherry profile, and with the black variant, you'd get colorways that look very premium. I really do dig the mixture of black, cream, and beige all together. Switches are AL71 silent switches with light springs and dampening inside. There's a level of mushiness to the switches due to the padding inside that absorbs the sound. So far, they aren't as mushy as silent switches that I've tried in the past. Stabilizers are well tuned, and I don't hear any unnecessary subtle noises. These are lubed very generously, so I don't think you need to add any more. Only comment I have here is that they're not very tightly placed on the plate. Onto the features. By pressing function and right alternate key, you may be able to check battery levels. You would rarely do this, I guess, as its 4,600 mAh battery is going to make you forget it even has one. This sleeps after 3 minutes of no usage to help save more battery power, though this can be changed in the software. Speaking of its software, it's got the standard software for keyboards at this price range. You may play with key binding, LED customization, and macro recording. Everything is here, including mouse inserts. Links to get the AL71 are below, so go ahead and access those and get yourselves a gift for a good first quarter of 2024. Next up, we're going to put ceramic keycaps on this keyboard and see what we get out of it. I'll put the video somewhere around here, so go check it out, and don't forget to not subscribe.